Google honored mathematician Johann Carl Friedrich Gauss for what would have been his 241st birthday with a Google Doodle. Gauss created a legacy that included numerous mathematical and scientific discoveries. Sean Gallup, Getty Images. Google commemorated the 241st birthday of mathematician Johann Carl Friedrich Gauss by releasing a great drawing that showcased his career. Analyzing the photographic designer Bene Rohlmann transformed Google's logo into an excellent piece of artwork that showcased Gauss's history and contributions to math and science. First, Rohlmann placed Gauss's profile photo to represent the G. The first O is represented by several stars, a giant planet, and two smaller planets that were orbiting around it. The second O was a heptadecagon, which is a 17-side geometrical shape. The second G was transfigured into a bell curve, while the telescope represented the letter L. Finally, the triple bar, which was used primarily in math and science. Who was Gauss? Gauss was born in 1877 in Brunswick, Germany. His family did not have any proper education due to their impoverished background. However, it did not stop him from pursuing an education. When Gauss grew older, he showcased his innate ability to harness mathematics. At just 7 years old, the mathematician proved that he was able to solve complex math problems in his head. During his teenage years, Gauss became the very first person to implement quadratic equations. He also solved an essential mathematical concept that even left the ancient Greeks bewildered. At the University of Gothenburg, Gauss used a straight edge and a compass to draw out the heptadecagon. He published in Findings in Algebra, Geometry, and Number Theory in his very first book Disquistiones Arithmeticae, in 1801. The scientist Gauss was also passionate about numerous scientific topics. UPI noted that he rediscovered the dwarf planet series and created the heliotrope, which scientists use to measuring the sun. He also discovered findings on numerous subjects such as cartography, magnetism, and electricity. In 1809, Gauss released another book regarding astronomy. Passed away in 1855 due to a suspected heart attack. The name of Gauss is linked to almost everything that the mathematics of our century has brought forth in the way of original scientific ideas, said Leopard Kronecker, a 19th-century German mathematician, in a quote found by Time magazine. Additional Google Doodles. Gauss is not the only scientist that had a Google Doodle drawn for them. Celebrated primatologist Jane Goodall was highlighted this past Earth Day. Goodall is known around the world for her research with chimpanzees. Through her work at the Jane Goodall Institute, she continues to empower people by educating them about conservation and improving their links with both the animals and their environment. On March 21, Google recognized Mexican astronomer Guillermo Haro to commemorate what would have been his 105th birthday. Throughout his career, he changed the course of astronomy by discovering planets and stars in the 1950s. Some of his key findings include flare stars in the Orion constellation, the T-Tauri stars, and the Haro-Shavira comet. On January 9, Google honored Nobel Prize-winning biochemist Argoband Khorana with a doodle to commemorate what would have been his 96th birthday. Khorana won the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 1968 with fellow scientists Robert W. Lee and Marshall W. Nirenberg. The trio was awarded for their working in expanding the human genetic code. They found that the nucleotides in human DNA determine how the body builds amino acids, which eventually leads to cell production. Tech Times reached out to Google for a comment about this story. See now, 27 most inspirational and motivational quotes by influential leaders in tech. Google Doodle, Johann Carl Friedrich Gauss, Mathematics. Copyright 2018 Tech Times, all rights reserved. Do not reproduce without permission.